The Walt Disney Company owns not one but two of the most beloved and widely recognized animation studios in the history of film: Walt Disney Animation Studios and Pixar. Because Disney has been around for so long and because Pixar is so prolific, both studios have a rich backlog of feature films and cinematic shorts. And when there's so much history behind every frame of animation, it's hard not to want to add nods to the movies and animators who came before. Disney's Easter eggs are everywhere in their animated movies. Here are 10 Disney Easter eggs you won't believe you missed. Tangled. Though maybe a very fresh take on the tale, this Disney film is based on a very old and well-known folktale. The tale of Rapunzel, who is locked away in an inaccessible tower and eventually grows her hair so long that her rescuer is able to use it as a climbing rope. In the Disney version, her would-be rescuer, Flynn Rider, is a successful thief rather than a dashing knight in armor, and Rapunzel is headstrong and outspoken. But with such a traditional framework, some nods to tradition were sure to crop up. Case in point, a spinning wheel that's a perfect 3D version of the one that Sleeping Beauty pricked her finger on way back in the 1959 Disney movie of the same name. Here's hoping that this one isn't cursed. Finding Nemo. One of the few Pixar movies popular enough to spawn a sequel, 2003's Finding Nemo was a lighthearted tale of adventure and the power of determination and friendship to overcome any obstacle. At one point, Nemo ends up in a dentist's aquarium with a group of fish called the Tank Gang, who have a plan to escape by getting placed in baggies for a tank cleaning and then rolling off of the windowsill and out into the nearby ocean. As Nemo imagines this trip, sharp-eyed viewers can see a yellow pizza delivery truck drive by. The same Pizza Planet delivery truck that's appeared in every Pixar movie except The Incredibles. Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet wasn't one of the best received Disney animated features, but with a solid and exciting foundation in Robert Louis Stevenson's classic adventure tale Treasure Island, it's still pretty enjoyable. This space-themed tale of treasure and exploration was also clearly a labor of love for Walt Disney Animation Studios, with frame after frame of top-notch hand-drawn animation and a memorable score. It also contains a sly reference to a very different movie produced by the same studio. Early on, we see the protagonist Jim Hawkins as a young boy sitting in bed and talking with his mother. It's heartwarming, but it's also easy to miss the little figure sitting on the end of his bookshelf, a doll of Stitch, the blue alien from Lilo and Stitch. Frozen. In late 2013, if you were between the ages of 3 and about 12, it's likely that Frozen was a really big part of your life. The computer-animated fairy tale, an updated take on Hans Christian Andersen's famous folktale The Snow Queen, followed protagonist Elsa through the ups and downs of being a princess, and then a lonely queen who has ice-based magical powers that terrify other people. Before things get really complicated for Elsa though, she makes it to her 21st birthday and is crowned the new queen before a court of visiting nobles, including Tangled's Rapunzel and Flynn, who can both be seen in the crowd at Elsa's coronation. The Princess and the Frog. Another hand-animated movie, The Princess and the Frog is classic Disney from beginning to end. A lovable heroine, a dastardly villain, a handful of sidekicks, and a lot of catchy show tunes. The Cajun-tinged story features a suitably spooky bad guy, the evil Dr. Facilier, who has friends on the other side. Mysterious spirits that help him work his wicked Bokor magic. In one scene, the Doctor's seen from high above with a bloom of tall, skinny shadows all around him, representing the dark forces that walk with him from beyond the mortal plane. Viewers who look quickly enough will be able to see that one of them appears to be Jack Skellington, the bony leader of Halloween Town in Nightmare Before Christmas. The Black Cauldron. An inventive reinterpretation of Lloyd Alexander's children's fantasy book of the same name, the original story of the Black Cauldron fits into a larger 5-book narrative known as the Prydain Chronicles, which may help to explain why the film version is a little confusing at times. Nevertheless, it's a charming movie that still has a cult following even today, and like most animated Disney films, it features a cool Easter egg of its own. During one scene, the hero, Taran, and his companions find themselves in a cave where fairies appear before them. Viewers who squint will notice that one of them is Tinkerbell, the famous hot-tempered fairy from Disney's Peter Pan, who went on to become a Disney mascot in her own right. A Goofy movie. Cut from a more contemporary cloth than most animated Disney feature films, a Goofy movie exists in its own particular time and place, America in the mid-1990s. It was developed by Disney's TV animation studios, and based on the Disney TV show Goof Troop. The plot loosely revolves around Goofy's relationship with his son Max, who's trying to make it to a concert to impress his high school love interest by appearing on stage with the singer Powerline. Near the end of the movie, at the Powerline concert, the camera pans over the audience, and those who look closely will see none other than Mickey Mouse himself among the faces in the crowd. You know you're a major act when not even Mickey can get a VIP pass. Finding Dory. A cast of marine life and a yellow 1978 Gyoza pickup truck aren't all that Finding Nemo has in common with its sequel, Finding Dory. The main character, Dory, was Marlin's forgetful companion in the original film. And whereas Nemo had to escape an aquarium because he was going to be given as a present to a girl named Darla who killed a fish by shaking its bag too hard, Dory finds herself in a laboratory room at the Marine Life Institute, where a small portrait of the very same Darla can be seen tacked to a rear wall behind Dory's aquarium. It's a small world after all. The Little Mermaid. The first film of Disney's now classic animation renaissance period, this classic Hans Christian Andersen tale of a mermaid who falls in love with a human was brushed up for modern audiences, with a colorful supporting cast and happier ending than the original. It was the best received Disney animated film in years and kicked off a string of hits such as Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and The Lion King. The film's love interest, Prince Eric, is fooled into marrying the evil witch Ursula, disguised as a woman named Vanessa and using Ariel's voice to woo him. At the wedding, guests fill the pews, and people who know what to look for can see representatives from another Disney kingdom among the ranks of the guests, the King and Grand Duke from the movie Cinderella. Beauty and the Beast. Belle, the heroine of this classic Disney film, never asked to be a square peg in a round hole. She can't help it if she'd rather read than flirt. But her life only gets worse when her father Maurice runs across the fearsome beast's forlorn castle and ends up his prisoner. Belle eventually finds him and offers to take his place, but how did Maurice get so lost in the first place? The answer could lie with the worn-down road signs he wasn't able to read. The scene is dark and stormy, and the words on the signs are eroded down to almost nothing, but people who look hard might be able to make out a couple of less than threatening destinations. Valencia, home of California Institute of the Arts, where many Disney animators received their education, and Anaheim, home of the happiest place on earth, Disneyland. So, what are your favorite Disney Easter eggs? Did you already know about any of these? Wish we'd mentioned a movie that we didn't? Give this video a thumbs up and tell us what you think in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe to CBR for more magical videos about movies, TV, comic books, video games, and much, much more.